Shaking people, shaking. Snow Face the Rambler, back at it, man. I've been on a little hiatus, so pardon me, pardon me, man. Life's just been lifing, man. Living good, smelling good, feeling good, man. All is definitely well. It's the only way that it can be. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into the spill right quick, man. You know, uh, I've been seeing a few things online, keeping up with current events, all that niggas being lynched and shit, man. Carmelo Anthony, Nolan Wells, all that shit's wild and crazy, man. My whole spill on that is basically what we seeing through these days and times is new money versus old money. You know what I mean? But that's a video for another day, man. Today I want to touch on this subject, man. For my subscribers that been rocking with me, that been fucking with me day one, man. Y'all know that I have a couple of Tupac videos in my stash. And into regards, I spoke on Baby Lane, aka Orlando Anderson, into regards of being a shooter from back in the days. Well, back in the stash from my uploads, my videos, what I had. However, new things have come to light. Um, just kind of peeping this because, Tupac, Biggie, that whole 9-6 era, for me that's like the era of, like a Fred Hampton or, a JFK, you know what I mean? There's conspiracies behind the murders and things of that nature, you know? Um Now, I'm looking at this stuff, man, and I'm looking at this whole case, this situation, man. I'm seeing things from a different angle. And I gotta backtrack and I gotta kind of recant on certain things that I said, in the past in regarding this situation with the murder of Tupac. And I'm gonna just be real with you, fam. I gotta be honest with you. You know, um, I'm really, really starting to believe that, Tupac's murder with Biggie's murder, I think them brothers, fell to some unfortunate circumstances. I think they was collateral damage. Straight up. I think they was collateral damage. And what kind of brought me to that, man, is when I look at this dude right here on the screen, man. This OG Southside Crip nigga, man. Um, hustling nigga slash dope fiend. Kind of started smoking his own product, turned into a rock star around his way. You know what I mean? Basically, a junkie, man. Obviously not too bright. Not too bright at all, man. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer at all. Like, I don't understand what idiot would confess to anything in another city and state about a murder in another city and state and really believes that he has full immunity. And then, you know, goes do podcast interviews, basically admitting to the shit that he claimed that he did. And then to add insult to injury, this dumbass nigga moves right to the city where Tupac got murdered at. Like, nigga, that's wild. That's mind boggling and that's crazy, man. Like on every level. Like, what the fuck is you thinking, gang? The fuck is you thinking, gang? Like, that's not even. Damn, bro. I don't know. You know what I mean? But we about to backtrack. We gonna dissect this 9-6 shit, man, with the murder of Tupac, man. And you know, fellow other YouTubers are speaking on this, and I gotta keep it a buck, man. Like, I kind of bear witness to what I see to be the truth. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna run off on no conspiracy bullshit. I really believe it's the truth, and what I believe, just kind of staring at this idiot and seeing how this shit play out, man. I really believe that them bullets in Las Vegas that night was really meant for Suge Knight, man. It was really meant for Suge Knight. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think them shits was meant for Suge Knight, man. I think Tupac was collateral damage. I think Biggie was collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think Suge had created a $300 to $500 million record company. He employed some individuals in his neighborhood, and they was just kind of along for the ride. They was going for trips. They was actually leaving out of the hood, things of that nature. But I think he fucked up when he started employing, LAPD and bringing them in his inner circle. And LAPD, that's the government. When they really start seeing the money, the cash flow that was coming through there, I think they had in their mind like, man, fuck that. We about to go ahead. We're gonna take them out. We're gonna take them out. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that, and I think that they fucked up when they pulled up on the side of the car and let off so many shots, but end up blaming Tupac. You know what I'm saying? I think Tupac was kind of lightweight, kind of caught up in the crossfires, and I think that shit obviously shook Suge up because he kind of seen what it could be if he ain't play ball, if he ain't cooperate, however that shit go, man. When you get in that upper epsilon of getting that money, when you start getting in the rooms with people that the public don't see on a regular, you know what I'm saying? The invisible hands that write the checks, you know what I mean? And the reason I say that, man, me being an ex-gang member, man, y'all know my background, man. Me running around with, gang members, man, and bumping into a couple of loose cannons, learning how to play my position, man. And, just my perspective, man, I know a bunch of loose cannons, man. A bunch of demons or savages, that you want to call them. And when situations go down in certain places, man, individuals that I know personally, a lot of times will kind of chalk shit up, and they will more or less wait till they catch you on another day or when the opportunity's right. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that to say this, man. I just can't find it in my heart to believe that some Compton Crips did a full-fledged drive-by on a Las Vegas strip like that at night after the Tyson fight, and everybody's out there. Nah, you can't sell me that shit, man. Fuck that shit, Joe. You can't sell me that. Nah. Hell no. Nah. I'm not jacking that. I don't believe that. Nah, there ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Especially if something like that happened, man. I can honestly see individuals saying to themselves, like, yo, you know what? Death Row, yeah, Pac and them, they got off tonight. You know what I mean? They whip Baby Lane ass. But nigga, we get back to Compton, nigga, it's going up. It's going up. I can't see it. And you know what I mean? I know niggas. I'm an ex-nigga myself, man. And there's certain things niggas ain't gonna do in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that shit. Or it was a big bag involved. You know what I'm saying? Puffy paid these niggas. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't jack none of that shit, bro. I think LAPD was intending to murk this nigga Suge Knight, and Tupac was basically collateral damage because that nigga just happened to be in the car that day and that night, and he was in the way. That's what I believe. And this nigga Keefe D, you know what I'm saying? Into regards of him admitting to doing his dumb shit. From my understanding, I think this nigga Keefe D got caught with like some dope or some shit, and the way he could, kind of get out of doing that, doing time for that, was basically to admit to this dumb shit, and he'd get all types of, immunity, blah, blah, blah. And this dumbass nigga just admitted to this shit. You know what I mean? He admitted to this shit, man. And then went on multiple podcasts bragging, talking about this shit, to the point that he had somebody write a book for him. And he was admitting to this shit. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to find him guilty. And the reason I think they're going to find him guilty, because I don't think the United States, matter of fact, the world, because Tupac was definitely an international star, is ready for the truth to come out that LAPD was behind murking that nigga. You know what I mean? I really don't, I don't believe that, man. So somebody got to be the fall guy. And Keefe D's dumb ass, this nigga's going to be the Lee Harvey Oswald out of this situation. Word is bond. That's definitely how I see that shit. He going to be the Lee Harvey Oswald out of that whole situation, man. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the fuck this nigga was thinking. Confessing and admitting to that shit, you know what I'm saying? I think even on one podcast, I think it could have been that nigga on Vlad or shit. You know what I mean? This nigga was basically coming at Mike Tyson and Lil Boosie on some shit like, yeah, like, nigga, I'm a real live gangster, you know what I'm saying? This nigga's crazy, man. This nigga's crazy, man. I don't know, bro. It's just, that's some wild shit, man. And Suge is locked up in Cali, and there's so much shit he want to say, but he's trying to keep it solid. And people thinking that, he's trying to keep it solid and stand tall. They thinking for the wrong reasons. They thinking, because his image, man, he ain't trying to be no snitch, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that sound good in hindsight, man, but my honest opinion, man, I think Suge know that if that shit really come out, man, his chance of ever coming home is slim. And, you know what I mean? They might do something to him in the Bing. You know what I mean? So the best thing he can do is just kind of, sit where he's at, fight his case through appeal, and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, that's really like the only option he has. For real, for real. You know what I mean? And with this situation right here, if you look at it, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. And it still shows you how the powers that be, the government, these elites, man, they would still find people that live in the lowest of society and put them on a chessboard and use them as pawns to discard them. You know what I'm saying? And niggas should definitely know this shit, man. You know what I mean? Look at Free Ray, Rick Ross situation, man. Look at OG Puddin'. You know what I mean? They still play in the background, man. They still set up plays in the background. And we seen it in modern times. Now, I'm not going to sit up and say that, there's some COINTELPRO shit that, bitch, Jag or Hoover started or whatever, but a lot of them tactics are still in play today, man. This ain't got no names, but they still operating off that. And I honestly believe getting back to this, the Keefe D ain't do this shit, man. I don't believe Orlando did that shit or none of that shit, man. One of the lead detectives on that case, man, Russell Poole, had basically kind of admitted that. And he discovered that and kind of, brought that to the forefront. That basically when Tupac got shot, Orlando was either, coming out the hospital or they caught him at the bar or something at the MGM. At the end of the day, at the end of it, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there. So it's a full-fledged shit show. And, Keefe D done stepped in some shit that he can't wash or get off, man. This shit is real. He about to use you as the ultimate sacrifice, my dog. You out of there, bro. You out of there. You out of there. This shit ain't gonna come out, man, that the LAPD murked this nigga Pac and they knocked off Biggie to make it look like some bogus East-West Coast war and shit on some rap shit. It was really some just, rotten, corrupt cops that wanted to take over the record label and get all that money for themselves. You got to be the sacrifice, nigga. You got to be the one they gonna slam dunk. I'm outside the courtroom, homie. I'm viewing it through the eyes of somebody who whipped and ran the streets with street sense. You being judged by the jury, your peers, Keefe D, they never led that life. So they seeing things through the eyes of how they see it. Basically black and white. Like, what? You get a big drug dealer? You did this? You was leader of this? You was leader of that? Oh yeah, this nigga did it. It's a wrap. It's over, bro. It's finito, man. And to my young audience out there, man, look at this fool on the screen, man. This nigga confessed to some shit that he didn't even fucking do, man. For clout in a fucking bag. Let this nigga be a lesson, man. Put yourself on a straight and narrow path in life. Move accordingly, man. It's a cold world out here. And that's my take on this situation with Keefe D. Moving forward, man, for my subscribers, I definitely appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm working on a mini TV series called When Reality Bends. It coincides with shows like Dark Mirror and Twilight Zone. I'm writing about, various demographics and diversity that I'm putting in the mix. I ain't really trying to capitalize off no hood shit. Number one, I don't want to poison my people. And number two, that story been told, man. It's a new day and a new life, you know what I mean? Look out for that. I'm going to be working on some AI animations to pump that out. And I'm back, baby. It's 2026, man. We about to take this shit off. Yo, Snowface the Rambler, man. Pro love, no love, man. Keep it solid all the time.